We want the Somalis to start a conversation to be either deputy president or a president in this country.
Hey guys, Gracie here. I hope you guys are well. Thank you for the support, for the views, for the comments, for the subscription, for the shares and the likes. It means a lot to me, and I will never ever stop saying thank you to all of you. Today's video, I want us to have a conversation about this Somalis guy that wants to actually be the president of Kenya. Let's watch this clip, come back and let's talk about it.
We want the Somalis to start a conversation to be either deputy president or a president in this country. It is the high time for Somali deputy president and deputy president, and we also sit on the table because we have the numbers. We are Kenyans. We have been marginalized for quite long. That can be even what do we call an affirmative action as a deputy president Somali. Also, I also know, Mr. Speaker, you have an ambition. You have the quality. You have the experience. You have what it takes to be the president of this country. We, as ODM members, if, and that is if, our party leader exits the stage, we are ready to support Luya president or for Somalis to become a deputy president. Thank you, and we hope you will be that person.
Where I sourced this clip, the comment section was going crazy. So before we start this conversation, I want to know the take of Kenyans on this, because where I got this one from, a lot of Kenyans were saying that we are not united as Kenyans, but on this we are going to unite. Now, I am bringing this question to you, Kenyan viewers. What are you going to unite for or against? Are you uniting against or for the Somali president? Again, Somalis don't come for me. We are just going to have a genuine conversation, and I want you also to tell me exactly what you think about this president of yours or vice president. Yes, as far as I can remember, most Somalis actually come to East African countries and the West in general as actually refugees. I'm not going to take joy in the circumstances that led to you fleeing the country, because that is something that is really, really heartbreaking. But for you to go into a foreign country where people open their home, their hearts, and country for you, they give you the same equal opportunities. You go thrive. You're very, very prominent in business, property owning, and stuff like that. And then you feel like simply because you have been in that country for quite some good time, you have every other right to actually stand in positions of leadership or meddle into the national politics. For me, it just blew my mind away, all right? I really, really don't get it. We have Indians that came to Africa, Uganda, Kenya, and more other countries as construction workers that came to construct the railway. And they've been here for decades. Some of them have families over here and stuff like that. So yeah, some of them already call themselves nationals in these countries, but they don't even come out to actually go for national chairs, especially when it comes to, the chair of the leader or the president of this Republic of Kenya, of Uganda. You understand? So it surprises me that people that are fleeing war or fleeing their country simply because they feel like there are many in this country, they have every right to actually be leaders. I understand that some of them are given chances to be leaders, but this is beyond. We are talking of people that literally still to date do not believe they are Africans. These are not things we put in their mouth. These are things they say for themselves.
I don't care if I'm the first person to say this, but us Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black. Let me ask you a question. Are Moroccans and Egyptians black? Tradition, our history, our culture are so much more different compared to these other countries that are actually black. Josh Bill, if you're not black, what are you? I'm Somali.
Somalis deny Africanity. They do not want to be identified as African. They want to be Arabs. And the Arabs are pushing them. There's a dilemma here. You see, there's identity crisis here now. I don't have identity crisis. I'm an African, and there are so many Africans in Africa. I don't have identity crisis. You can call me whatever you want. But I have identity. You do not have identity now because the Arabs have refused you. They are telling you, ya Abid. And you're better off to accept me as your brother rather than going to an Arab. So, we called Somalis in that article Africanity by accident of geography. This group consists of those who happen to be in Africa without their wish to be there. Individuals who found themselves living in the continent by virtue of circumstances beyond their control. In other words, circumstantial Africans. Members of this group are not pleased to be identified with negritude or blackness, be it by value, ideology, culture, ethnicity, or any other quality except by the accident of being in Africa, of existing on the continent. So, the only time that a Somali nomad or a pastoralist, and I have nothing against nomads, the only time he or she will accept to be an African, or she or he may instantly turn around from Arab to Africa, is if she or he encounters discrimination of identity, denial from that group. And I have seen this in Egypt. I have seen it in Saudi Arabia, and I have seen it in Canada. I'm a Canadian.
Kenya is an entirely African country, and you, as someone that don't believe you're African and you want to be a leader of Africans, just make it make sense. It just is so crazy, like they don't find a problem with this entire thing. You know, now, a lot of them will want, like him, they want to identify with all Kenyans right now because they want that position or that national chair. But if it wasn't for that, they don't want to actually identify themselves as Kenyans, as Black, as Africans. So they only identify with a certain experience that is beneficial and suiting to their intentions. But when it is not, they literally don't want anything to do with the same people right now that they want to be leaders. Now tell me, how are people going to trust you when your people actually come out in broad daylight to say these things? Like, how are they going to trust you when you only want to use them to elevate your soul, but you don't want to actually identify with them and be with them throughout all the struggles? You know, it is hectic to explain these things. And you realize a lot of people as well that don't want to identify with Blacks, but the moment they want to get something from the Blacks, then they are going to come out and, you know, try to pretend that they are one and they are for them. So the nerves for you to come out and say you want to be a leader of Black people. Now, I know majority of you probably, I don't know if majority or not majority, because sometimes when you go in the comment section, you find just a list of you people saying these things and claiming you're not this, you're not that, all right? And we have no problem with that, okay? You have every right to be whatever you want to be. But in the meantime, while you're trying to be whatever you want to be, okay, refrain and just control yourself from doing things that are already going to attract bad energy towards you. Because you saying you want to be the president of Kenya when we have a Kenyan Mr. Raila Odinga that literally is still struggling to be a leader there, I just don't get it. I just really, really don't get it. These are the same people that seclude themselves even when they come to a particular country. Even when they build property, their property is specifically for their own people, not the nationals. So you seclude yourself and live in your own cocoons, don't want to mix up with people. Tell me, when you become a leader or a president, what are you going to do? Like, are you... Guys, it is not clicking. It's not clicking. And they always feel, they have that way of feeling about themselves as if they are better than everyone else. Recently, I made a video about these Somalis ladies that were saying African women in the mosque were smelling, that they should take a bath. And this is most of the times the people of color have always looked at our dark skinned, and I don't want to say, they look at us and they think we are dirty, you know. It's such people that are still discriminative of other people that want to be leaders. It's the nerves, it's the audacity. Being in that particular country for quite a while does not make you a national. You are still a visitor. And sometimes when people overstay their visit, you know, but I mean, where are they going to go? So I feel bad that you don't have anywhere to go, but at least accept and appreciate the privileges that have been given to you. You're successful people in businesses in Kenya, in Uganda. You have all of these things going on for yourself. Refrain from meddling into the national politics because you don't want really to be on bad terms with nationals. But anyways, who am I to talk? Kenyans, tell me what you think. Tell me if you vote for a Somali's president or a vice president or whatever. Tell me if you guys need more diversity, and tell me how do you treat these people, because if they are reaching for that big seat, that means there's something that is lacking that you're not giving them. They feel like they need to share the national cake. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And if you haven't signed up for my channel membership, please consider signing up for that. And I will bring you more juicy conversations about, you know, the motherland and so many more things to really talk about. My name is Gracie. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.